Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today it's going to be a match between Rain and kirchlindach here on Fighting Spirit. Top right-hand corner is the orange Zerg player kirchlindach. I cannot find anything about this guy. The only connection between kirchlindach and StarCraft is that the My Insanity team house is in kirchlindach, Germany. So maybe it's a My Insanity player, I have no idea. And the bottom right-hand corner is the yellow Protoss player, Rain. Yeah, man, Rain is an incredible Protoss player in the latter stages of a Brood War these days. And I think kirchlindach's going to have his work cut out for him. 370 APM versus 390. Yeah, this is definitely a pro game. I got this off of the Foreign Brood War Discord server. If you'd like an invite to there, let me know, and I'll put a link in the description. And there's a lot of VODs in there. There's a lot of people playing StarCraft. I see this comment a lot. Are there still people playing StarCraft Brood War? And yes, there are. Not as many as you may think, but the community is very, very helpful to those who are trying to get into it. And once again, let me know if you want a link in the description to that Discord server. And if you want a link to my Discord server, there's one in there as well. Got about 600 or so members right now, and we have a lot of people looking for Danplan and Mighty Jingles Discord servers. Not entirely sure why. When you Google Danplan and Discord, the link to my server is the third result. Google, you are very weird sometimes. Anyway, here we go. Pool first here out of kirchlindach. And this is going to be a gateway. Yeah, it's going to be a gateway here out of Rain and probe scouting. Probe scouting is very, very important for Protoss, and he's going to go ahead and say, there's no hatchery. Everything is just fine. I don't actually have to scout. There's a pool coming up, because of course there's a pool coming up. There's going to be Ling pressure here. We got to do something fast. This is why we usually see a Forge fast expand here. Going to try to block this expansion a little bit. Doesn't quite get it there. Rain goes for it. Can't quite make it happen. And there are Lings on the way. There are Lings. There's one pair of Lings on the way right now out of that egg. Are there any more coming in? Yep, there's the 2, and as soon as he has enough money, there's the 3. All right, man, so 6 Lings in production here. Overlord sees there's not much of a wall here at all. Rain doesn't seem all that much concerned about walling it off down here whatsoever. He's making a Zealot, which one Zealot is actually going to get wiped out by 6 Zerglings, but he can take some Zerglings with him. So I think the plan is put some pressure on kirchlindach in the early stages over here so the Lings don't make it down here and start actually hammering on this pylon, which would be pretty bad news, as it turns out. All right, so the Lings are coming on down. The Zealot actually heading on back home. And what is the answer here? Rain, what you gonna do, man? 2 Zealots. All right, that's fine. 2 Zealots, and is he just gonna expand? Oh my gosh. Rain is just gonna expand. Holy crap, he is. All right, man. He had the requisite resources for it. All right, so we're gonna try to hold this. This is not a wall, mind you. This is not a wall situation. See, the Lings just run right on through. Bye. Trying to get a surround maybe on this guy. Probes holding this ramp temporarily before they actually are forced to vacate and or die. Now, Zerglings are loose inside the main, which is so bad. These Zerglings inside the natural. It's more annoying than anything else. The Lings are faster than Zealots, even if they don't have speed. They're going to try to pick off some of these probes, forcing the probes to fight for their own lives. Another probe going down here. So far, so good. I'd say out of this Ling attack, I don't know that Rain prepared really well enough for this at all. More probes trying to run for it. That one is not injured, which is totally fine. We have an engagement. Probes out here on the map getting chased by Lings there too. Metabolic boost on the way. Doesn't seem like it. Doesn't seem like we're going for metabolic boost at this stage. These are definitely just the slow Lings, but they're being exceptionally annoying here. That probe trying to make it on home is a little bit injured there too. The Zealots think about attacking up this way, but yeah, there's too many Lings on the map. Metabolic boost is now getting started here. A lot of droning up has been happening behind this for kirchlindach, although a bunch of Lings here too, so drones and Zerglings. The pressure's been real, and now there's a Forge, and now there's a serious wall. Okay, this is what Rain needed here. These Lings are not getting through this at all, unless the Zealots get out, like they move position and get out of that wall, in which case they're gonna die. And he does. Look at this. He leaves. Maybe that was bait. He's like, hey, the door's open. Why don't you come over here? Now there's a cannon coming up behind this. All right, man. Rain went for the risky 1-gate expand with Lings out on the map and managed to get it done. Rain, great stuff here. kirchlindach at 500 APM. Who is this guy? If you know, please let me know in the comments. We'll update the title. On YouTube appropriately. Somebody did let me know that Fluff from an earlier cast is actually the player Action, which I don't have any independent corroboration on that, but I'll believe you if you tell me this is somebody and you seem confident in telling me this is somebody that you're aware of. So Rain has a lot of zealots, which honestly are not that great throughout most of the game here. They're going to be okay, I suppose, against a bunch of lings, but if a bunch of hydras start showing up, a bunch of lurkers start showing up here too, as is a lair on the way from Kirchlindach, bad things could happen for Rain here. So Rain just happily sitting on his 200 APM. His Cyber Core is done. He's working on a Stargate here, likely going to start the Corsair production, start trying to kill a bunch of these overlords and force Scourge out on the other side as your Spire gets started just now for Kirchlindach. Third base is getting fairly well saturated. Again, it's a good combination of Zerglings and drones that Kirchlindach is working on right now. Just enough, if these Zealots decide to move out, he needs to have enough to handle it. And he does see this. He's been droning up a little bit, maybe a little bit too much here. If the Zealots went for it, I think they're in a pretty good spot right now, honestly. Some Sunkens would be invaluable at either one of these bases, but nah, man. Just throwing up a macro hatch at that third, no big deal. Lings are trying to be like, hey, okay, come back this way. We're going to kill your stuff. And the Zealots are like, we're not interested. We're just going to head up here and try to kill all of your things. All right, man. Zergling's going for it here. We're going to try to get as many health bars up as we can right now. Zealots are actually doing really, really well here. Moving the wounded Zealots back. Nice micro. Holy crap, Rain. That was beautiful micro. Finally tossing up something to wall this off, but it's too late. The Zealots are inside the house. More Zerglings are on the way. Okay, one Zealot gets picked off. The injured dude is dead there, but 3 kills on that one. 4 kills on that one, and now holding the ramp. Ah, that's so brutal to these Lings. Bam, 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 bam. Actually, winning that fairly nicely are the Zerglings, and I think there are enough Lings here to finally take these guys out, but that was a lot of Zerglings forced out. That Kirchlindach would much rather have drones for. Dude, it's 47 to 33 supply right now. Rain is way in the lead. Despite the fact that it's a 3-base economy out of Kirchlindach, it's not really super 3-base economy. He's not saturated much on any of his bases here. It's a nice split up, though. Nice spread out on those drones. So there's your Scourge. Scourge coming in to deal with this Corsair. Very frustrating. Are we going for a Templar Archives is the question on the follow-up. And just a cannon. I guess he's worried potentially about Mutalisks, but I guess there's one on the way from Kirchlindach. He can make about 6 of them if he had the supply for it, but he doesn't. So he's waiting for that Overlord to pop. And there we go. 7 Mutalisks now on the way from Kirchlindach. Zerglings just sitting outside trying to see if anything's going to come out on the ground way. We've got the Scourge hanging where? Here they are. They're looking for that Corsair. Oh, yes. The cannon's also good at preventing Scourge from chasing Corsair endlessly throughout your base. Oop, one gets picked off there. Man, it's only 2 shots off the cannon to kill a Scourge. It's really bad news. But Kirchlindach going for a bunch of mutas, which can be pretty good here. The anti-air is not that strong for Rain, with the exception of the Corsair production. He's going to have to rely on that pretty heavily, and they can do very well, exceptionally well, against mutas in the right conditions. But if you just get overwhelmed and surrounded and outnumbered, you're going to have a bad time. This is pretty good. This is a Scourge Mutaflock. That looks pretty darn intimidating. Are they going to dive in here is the question. There are the Zealots with the counterattack, but I think I saw some Sunkens coming up. Yeah, definitely some Sunkens coming up to make sure the counterattack of Zealots isn't all that good. That cannon cannot withstand the might of these Mutalisks. There are the Scourge. Decent hits, though. All right, man. Scourge taking serious damage right now. These Zealots up front are not doing well with the Sunkens and the drones holding the line and the Lings holding the line there, too. Mutalisks actually forcing the probes to flee from this position, attacking on in. Another Zealot getting picked off here too. These mutas are doing way more damage, I think, than Rain wants them to. Double Sunken, chasing Zealots away from the third base, and Kirchlindach is in control of this match. I gotta say, the natural base for Rain is a ghost town. There are no probes here. There are no attacking units here at all. He's trying to take down the Nexus, if at all possible. Damage from Muta, not that great against Nexuses, as it turns out. Another Zealot comes up here to die, and it's 59 to 59 supply. Kirchlindach has done an amazing job evening out this worker count, evening out the army count. Overall here is APM still around 500. Really great play thus far. Archons now in production to help deal with those Corsairs. Too smart to fight on in right here. That pylon, these cannons. Oh, shield battery. All right, kind of like the shield battery here. I'm going to try to heal some stuff up. Heal that Archon up. Archon deals with the Lings quite nicely, but the mutas are dead near still alive. There are a bunch of them here too. Once again, the Corsair doing that splash damage, pretty effective. Oh, taking one down with the Scourge. Cannon down, splash damage. A High Templar pops out, very thankfully. Not in the direct line of fire there on these mutas, but bam, splash damage wipes them out. That Archon does so much work there. 7 kills. on that Archon, and suddenly the Mutaflock is down to 0. Yeah, those Corsair hits combined with the Archon hits were enough to wipe out that Mutaflock, and now kirchlindach is in a ton of trouble. Now he's down 69, 71 to 49 supply. He's in a heck of a lot of trouble right now. He's making more Mutalisks, he's making more Scourge, he's going for Hydralisk play, which Hydras trade pretty well versus Archons and versus these Zealots. The 3 base economy is going to help right here quite a bit for kirchlindach. Rain has not been able to get a third yet. Pretty intense opening for both of these players here. Again, Zealots just aren't going to do anything. This is a really well set up defense on both of these bases for kirchlindach. Rain is continuing to produce Corsairs. He's working on +1 attack for his Archons and his Zealots and his Dragoons if he ever decides to make any of those. Also, Dark Templar benefit from that upgrade. It's a very nice across-the-board style upgrade. 6 Hydras on the way from kirchlindach to deal with this attack that is incoming and is pretty darn intimidating. The Hydras are there, though. There's already a bunch of Hydras out. More and more popping all the time, and Rain says, all right, never mind. The Hydras are already present. Let's just head on back home. Maybe think about taking a 3rd base, if at all possible. The Mutas are here, but guess who is also here? The Corsairs. Oh, they picked one off. Trying to split and fight here. The Corsairs are still alive, though. The cannon getting some night shots out there, too, and there's only 3 Mutas remaining. Another engagement here versus an Overlord. They got it. They got the Corsair. Everybody is severely injured, but they killed the Corsair. That's nice. Keeping that Corsair count low is actually really, really important. But here we go. Zealots. There's Hydras on the high ground. There's Sunkens back here supporting, too. That's such a rough position to be in for Rain. Kirchlindach is well defended here. Trying to pull him back to the Sunkens, and a Sunken here would be really nice. But the Hydra, the flank attack of the Hydra's coming in the right side too, just causing major, major problems. Still, no sight of a 3rd base from Rain. He's in a ton of trouble, y'all. So many Hydralisks. So many Hydras are so good versus this Zealot Archon composition. 1 Archon gets picked off. Archon with 10 kills is still alive. That's the guy who killed all those Mutas just a couple of minutes ago. Rain is working on Storms and Singularity Charge. Dragoons don't trade well versus Hydras. I'm not sure why he's working on something Dragoony. I guess he knows that Lurkers are probably on the way, and Lurkers do get handled pretty well as another Archon gets picked off. That was our friend Archon. But I guess he knows that Lurkers are probably on the way. Does he have range for Hydras? Doesn't look like it. Oh, Zealot comes out, takes several shots, and immediately flees back in. There you go. That's your position, lads. That is the one. You can sit back here, and as soon as Storm is done, you're going to have to get out. Storm is almost done. And the Zealots come out for the engage. The High Templar are coming out for the engage here too. They're trying to. There's some Storms on the top. Beautiful, beautiful Storms here. Hydra's still fighting. The Storms are just crushing, and the Zealots too, with their upgrades, with their +1 attack, really chasing those Hydras away. Storm really changes the game in every situation. Is this going to be? Is he going to drop her? He's going to. Kirchlindach is trying to get a 4th base up here. By golly, he is crushing Rain. Who is this guy that is capable of beating Rain like this? Well, we'll find out. Somebody in the comments should tell us sooner rather than later. Yep, there's your Dragoon production to deal with the Lurkers that aren't even on the field yet. Lurker aspect is on the way. But we'll get some there. More Hydras in production. The upgrades on these dudes, +1 attack too. +1 Grand Carapace is on the way for them. +2 attack. Just now wrapping up for Rain and setting up to take a 3rd base down here at the 6 o'clock position. Observatory coming in as well. He recognizes the threat of Lurkers. He's going to need detection, and he's not wrong about that. The problem is Kirchlindach's 4th base is already on the way, about 50% complete. And now Rain is just starting his 3rd. So he's just going to have a really hard time. Another Muta. No, those are the same Mutas from before. I was going to say, has he been producing Mutalisks when I haven't been watching? No, those are the same Mutas. They were severely injured previously. And they're going to take some serious shots there, too, so don't do that. But Ling Hydra Lurker ready to go from Kirchlindach, 94 to 104 supply. He's going to try to threaten this front door. There's going to be Storms. There's going to be Dragoons with +2 attack and Singularity Charge. And this is going to be a really tough battle for Kirchlindach. But I think he might have enough to do it here. Lurkers burrowing on in. Where's your detection, friends? Good stabs. Everybody gets out. Everyone gets out. The High Templar do get the Storm off. They whip. Oh, there's a better Storm on that Lurker, able to wipe it out. There's a lot of dead Zerg right now, you guys, and I think the Storms have been enough to turn these tides. Trying to pick off the Observer. They got the Observer. So the Lurker going to fight here, but it's only 1 Lurker here, and a High Templar should be able to storm that thing sooner rather than later. So beautiful hold by Rain. Just absolutely fantastic play by him. making sure he saves his natural base, making sure his third base is safe as well from further attack. Muta's just taking several shots from the Dragoons. He's got no kills, but he's done some damage at the very least. So fourth base done. Kirchlindach putting his drones to work back there, working on more lurkers, getting a hive in the mix too. Probably ultras maybe, or just +3 upgrades for all of his stuff. That'd be pretty nice. 133 to 94 supply. A lot of zealots, a lot of dragoons, a lot of high templar. Very gateway heavy style army here. But again, Storm is the great game changer. It's pretty darn good against these lurkers, the hydras, the lings. Everything we have here is going to be really, really good. What I'd like to see, and something I used to do when I used to play a lot of Brood War against my friends, is get queens with spawn broodlings and just pick off the high templar. Bam, bam, bam. Those guys are out, and suddenly this battle's a lot different for Zerg. You haven't really seen it, though. I'm not saying go mass queen, but just enough queens to where you can just get rid of those high templar, and then suddenly you're in a better position. So it's a bit of a surround right now. Rain is sneaking on in here. And by sneaking, I mean he's not sneaking, because he's got army at the north and he's got an army at the south who knows where he is. And he's about to be surrounded here. Adrenal glands on the way. It's going to help immensely in this situation. +3 attack getting started for Rain. And there we go. Storm on the lurkers. It is very slow going for Rain right now. Is this drop lord stuff? What is he doing with the overlords? Scouting, possibly? I don't know. Another great Storm there. And yeah, Hydra's trying to break through that front door at the same time, but it's just 138 to 103 supply. All of a sudden, I really feel like Rain, or Kirchlindach, was in an amazing position, but suddenly it's Rain who's really on fire right now. With 50 more supply than Kirchlindach has. Lings are trying to take down Dragoons, and they do. They take down a Dragoon there, which is fine, I suppose, but there's really no saving this base. All the drones are evacuating versus this exactly +2 and nothing else attack Zealot. Are these dropper lords full of things? No, they're definitely not. They're just here to observe the death of the fourth. Why are you pulling back? What on earth did I miss here that you're pulling back? Not all the way. All right, man. So the Zealots are going to wipe out the fourth. There's really no saving in here. That's why you got to have the lurkers on the high ground. Here's your engagement, though. Storm on the Lings, trying to pick off the High Templar. They're pulling back to safety as well as they can. Hydras are fighting. Lurkers trying to get in positions where they can fight, but Rain does not want to hold still at all right now. The burrow-in happens. A couple spines get out. Everybody keeps retreating. Rain recognizes there's no reason to stand in one place when there are lurkers on the field. If I'm defending a base, sure, that might end up being what happens there. But, man, Zealots, having freshly taken on the fourth base, are going for the third now. There are Lings here. They do have adrenal glands. And the Sunkens are going to help with this, too. Oh, they're trying to fight outside of the Sunkens. That's pretty smart stuff. Coming up the right side now is Rain, reacting, and coming in from the top side here now is Kirchlindach, burrowing the lurkers in underneath the Dark Swarm. Finally, there's Dark Swarm in play. Kirchlindach at 18 minutes trying to make this thing happen. Lings shutting down Rain's attempt at a fourth base during all of this chaos. Lurkers that aren't covered by Dark Swarm are free game and getting cleared out quite nicely there. But these guys are alive, forcing Rain back. 162 to 101 supply. What is this up here? This Zealot is still doing stuff? Man, the Sunkens went down during that attack, but enough Lings popped out to where they could get through. So it's no attack upgrades on the Lings at all yet. +1 Carapace is done. Working on +1 attack and +2 ground. +3 attack for Rain is just about done here. It's just so much gateway. All of the gateway here. The Storm is going to be the splash damage. No Reavers here today, although working on Plague is Kirchlindach. Yeah, man, is Rain going to do this just with Zealot, Dragoon, High Templar? It seems like he might be able to. Oh, that's a beautiful Plague, though. Plague finishes just in the nick of time for Kirchlindach. Catches a ton of Zealots and Dragoons there. Just brutal, brutal stuff for the Protoss player. Rain's trying to get a fourth base up here again. I love the Lings that are everywhere, but they're not actually shutting down this fourth. They should be aware of what's going on. There's a Ling right here, by golly. Are you waiting for it to finish and then you kill it? That'd be actually brutal from Kirchlindach. That would be a disgusting, disgusting play for sure. Although defending it quite nicely now are a bunch of Zealots, and none of them are actually plagued. Oh no, all of them are actually plagued. I'm a liar. Some of them are actually plagued. Let's be accurate, Falcon. We can do this. We can be accurate. Look at that. Kirchlindach took another base on the right side, replacing his fourth and taking a fifth at the same time. Trying to attack on up here. Rain, shut this thing down, but there's a lot of Storm present. Storming on all of these lurkers. The storm placement is disgusting. Good plague, though, on Dragoons, really making them less effective throughout the course of the rest of the game there. Storming down a Defiler. Beautiful stuff, chasing this guy down with a Zealot, and he does catch him, stab him in the back. Lurkers get their revenge. Cannons set up. Is this enough Lings to actually take down? No, this is too many cannons. Unless you have a Dark Swarm, which maybe you do. Maybe you can make that happen. My goodness, I am just impressed with kirchlindach's his persistence right now. He lost that 4th. He was in a lot of trouble. Still, 165 to 93 supply. Dark Swarm and Plague is going to be the great equalizer here. That's what kirchlindach is going to rely on. And once again, just Zealots show up. This time they have +3 attack. That's a cancel on your 4th again. Just not defending this at all. I don't know why. I'm not sure why he's refusing to defend that. But he's got the 4th base down here. The problem is Rain's 4th is now happily running. A lot of lurkers out. Are we transitioning into, yep, Reavers now in the mix. We got some Archons here too. Once the Dark Swarm shows up and the Plague shows up, Archons are a good tech switch for Protoss. 169 to 104 supply. I don't know how kirchlindach is still alive. He's been down like 50-60 supply for most of this game. And, oh, the lurkers are showing up to try to shut this down. And there you go. Top of the ramp lurkers. Brutally, brutally dangerous. +2/+2 on those guys too. Doing bonus splash damage. Rain coming up the right side. And there are Zerglings. There are Storms, though. The Zerglings are largely gone at this stage. Trying to fight against Zealots and Archons. Not going to have a good time at all. The lurkers are all gone, though. No lurkers on the ground. The Dark Swarm is useless at this point. Nothing to protect over there at all. Zealots might try to go up that ramp at some point, but there's a lurker unburrowed on that ramp, strangely enough. kirchlindach is spending his money like a boss. He has double-digit money right now. That's insane with the number of bases that he has. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Once again, just storming the lurkers until they die. High Templar getting picked off there by the Lings. That was pretty good stuff. That was a minor, minor victory there for kirchlindach. And look at this. The supply lead for Rain is shrinking right now. The problem for kirchlindach is he hasn't been able to kill any of Rain's bases, and Rain has just been able to get up. Well, he denied this 4th temporarily. So maybe that counts. But he's lost his 4th twice now. His new 4th is happily running and pretty well defended too. And he's put those drones to work, and he is, because, again, 500 APM means you can do a lot and pay a lot of attention to what's going on here. So +3 Zealots, plus everybody's just +3 right now. Rain doesn't really bother with armor upgrades until he's done with that, if at all. He's not working on it. He's going Observer speed and Shuttle speed, which seems fine, and he's getting a 5th base in the bottom left-hand corner. I just feel like Rain has this game well in hand. He's just playing patiently. He's not attacking into positions that are not defensible. Observer scouting over this way. I think there was an attempted maybe Ling Defiler attack on this 4th, but sniffed it out. Rain with the game sense. Another pretty decent play, catching several Zealots and a couple Dragoons. How much of this army has been plagued at some point? I mean, some of it, a good number of it, which just means they are so much less effective in these engagements. Storm is even more important versus these Zerglings. The Zealots can't really be counted on. Observer gets killed by a combination of Dragoons and Archons. Dark Templar in production from Rain. Oh, here comes the flank attack from kirchlindach coming right on in. There is Storm on everything, though. Storm on those Lings. A handful of Lings do survive through. Yep. Yep. Oh, the Scarab hits were huge. Plaguing, almost catching the Reavers, but does catch the shuttle. Doesn't catch the Reavers, right? Nope, the Reavers are fine. The Reavers are fine, everybody. That would have been a huge play. Catching those with the Plague would have been amazing, but Rain once again pulling back. I really feel like kirchlindach needs to get an attack down here. Wipe out this 4th, wipe out this 5th. If he can do that, I think he can win, but suddenly Rain's on the offensive. Setting his Reavers down in range of... Oh, loses a Reaver to a Lurker. That's not something that should ever happen. But he can definitely just two-shot these suckers. The Scourge come in and take out the shuttle. All right, shuttle's down, which means the Reaver's in a lot of trouble. It can't be picked up at the sign of trouble. And I think kirchlindach's going to be able to save this right side base. Zealots coming up versus the Sunkens. Again, just not looking healthy, these guys, but doing okay with their +3 attack. Ooh, another play, catching a couple more Dragoons, catching these High Templar as well on the backside. Pick up a High Templar, get him. No, the Storm before he dies, though. My goodness, getting these Storms off. Lurkers taking out the Reavers. Dragoons taking some shots here, too. The Storms are gone, it looks like. Yeah, that guy doesn't have enough energy, but the 5th base, the Archons are taking it down as fast as they can. Lings need to get up here and save it. But I think the hatchery... Ooh, is he going to... No, he doesn't save it. Just barely goes down. That was hugely important for Rain. He sacrificed a ton to make it happen. Suddenly, 118 to 98 supply. kirchlindach, again, just fighting his face off, continuing to reproduce units even as he loses them, continuing to expand even as he loses bases. He's got some defense up here at the 4th base. Finally, he's going to take a 6th. Just below that, too. Engagement over here on the right side. Zealots coming in where there are lurkers lurking and morphing. Nice plague. The Defiler actually escapes from that, too. We're trying to kill these lurker eggs before they hatch, and you know what? It's kind of working for Rain. Burrow. Burrow now. There's the burrow. There's the storm. And all right, he wins it. Some of the lurkers do manage to survive. That High Templar needs to get picked off, like, right now. Where's he trying to go? Was that just bad pathing? That might have been bad pathing. Dude, 94 to 113 supply. If kirchlindach wins this thing, I'm giving this an epic tag. This has been ridiculous. The way he's been able to stay alive when he's been down in supply for so much of the game. And this is not a 10-minute game. This is a 25, 26-minute game, and we're not done yet. Metasynaptic node. Yep, that's the Defiler energy coming up here. Rain just making more Zealots, High Templar, Reavers. 120 to 104 supply. But look at this contain that is set up right now on that natural base where most of the production is. If you want to come out of here, you gotta get through this area first. Is that? Yeah, man, that's a shuttle. That's a shuttle with 2 High Templar and 2 Zealots in it. Did we catch? I think we caught a glimpse of that. What are these? Maybe not. Maybe we didn't. Where are you? Okay, so the Zealots unload to take down that 6th. And the High Templar, oh my gosh. Oh, the humanity. That was a massive, massive hit there. The Scourge are here. Where are the shuttles? Where are they? And catching it would be amazing. There it is. There's the catch. They both end up dead, but that's so many dead drones. 142 to 99 supply. Overlord scouts in to see what's going on. We do have a lurker attack back here. In range of a cannon, though, so it's not going to do too much. It's going to shut down the mining temporarily. But they both came in range of a cannon. That's horrible. So the cannon dies. High Templar clearing everybody else out there. No big deal. kirchlindach lost so many drones during that attack. That was brutal. All right. Oh, hang on. Get something off. There's a plague. All right, so the Defiler gets a plague and a Dark Swarm off and is still alive. Oh, there's the storm. Never mind. He's out. Lings rolling in to finish off these Dragoons. Zealots in the mix here too. 137 and 107 supplies. They're enough to hold this. The storms taking down the lurkers. He starts the second storm before the second or first one even finishes. That's pretty smart. It's not simultaneous, but it's good enough. Lings with their +3, +2, and adrenal glands. Crackling's going to try to shut this thing down, but there are High Templar present. If you can get around and take these guys out and dodge the storms that they do, this might work out. He's setting up to try it, but man, Reavers are here. Double Reavers present. Ow! Lurker stabbed right in the face. The Lings decide they're needed elsewhere. They're going to chop right on top of these Zealots and actually going to help defend these Lurkers quite nicely there this game. 137 to 109 supply. Reavers still hopping out. Reavers, I mean, there is nothing protecting these guys at all. There's no shuttle whatsoever, yet they're really keeping everybody at bay. Lurkers fighting quite nicely here. They do have that +2 attack. No +3 attacks today out of kirchlindach. I'm not sure how much it actually matters, though. So far, so good. Man alive, where are we? 181 to 115. Suddenly, Rain taking advantage of his 5-base Protoss economy to get up a humongous army that kirchlindach is trying to hang with right now. Ling's running on through, dying largely to nothing there. I mean, they didn't pick up any High Templar, they didn't kill any Dragoons, a couple Zealots died, but that's about it. Ling counterattacks here, trying to take out some of these High Templar, but they are actually not too shabby there. The Zealot escort making it happen. And over here, we have Drop Lords from kirchlindach. He's going to drop here. There is a High Templar. There are 2 High Templar present. Where is the Dark Swarm? Ah, the Storm is so good, though. There's the Dark Swarm. Is the Storm out is the question of the day. Lurkers burrowing on in, all dying instantly here. Another great Storm hits. 188 to 190 supply. Rain brings his army down to try to handle what is happening along this left side. And a decent plague here, which is nice, but that's about it, friends. Defiler crushed by that Scarab. And yeah, man, 195 to 93 supply. Rain, by virtue of really never losing a base in this game and really making economical trades and just using Storm like a virtuoso, I think has this thing won. He's doubled up on supply. There's just nothing that kirchlindach can do here. He's making lurkers, he's making Scourge, he's doing what he can. That that Storm drop over here was huge too. And yeah, these new sources of income for kirchlindach are really important, and they're really threatened right now. That's a lot of Archons, and to deal with this, you just need a ton of Hydras, which you don't have. Right now. Yeah, man, this is Reavers Archons versus Zerglings mostly, and the Zerglings are absolutely going to die. Yeah, I mean, this is a last gasp, last ditch effort here. And that's your GG. Kirchlindach has left the game, and bam, Rain is your winner in 30 minutes and 54 seconds. Sorry about Discord, you guys. I thought I had it on streamer mode. Blah! I did have it on streamer mode. Sometimes it pops off streamer mode on its own. I'm not sure why it makes that decision, but if you've been hearing that, I really apologize. Really apologize. All right, good stuff. Good stuff there from Rain, really showing how Protoss should be played in a PvZ. The Storm, like I said, were just brilliant in every sense of the word. The Storm drops up here really crippled kirchlindach amazingly well. Killed the space on the right side. Killed the top left base twice. Never let the space get off the ground. And really held on to his fifth bases like a pro. This one was canceled temporarily, but once it was up, it was never really threatened. And then the lurker drops back here were just ineffective. I mean, the cannons never really... One cannon died, and that's about it. These High Templar had a great time with their Storms. 4 kills on that guy, making it happen for a Rain. And overall, I mean, the 500 APM for kirchlindach didn't quite do it for him. I liked his plan. He had the Dark Swarm, he had the Plague, he had Zerglings. He didn't quite get the Hydras out there as he wanted to. His lurker production was amazing. His placement was really good too, but Rain's was better at dodging the lurkers, at storming them as soon as they showed up, using Dragoons to fire on them when they could, and when there was Dark Swarm, pulling those out. So just great decision-making from Rain. There's a reason he is a top elite, probably the best Protoss player on Earth right now, and why he can win games like this. So great job by him. Let's check out that final score. Overall, pretty close. 241,000 to 223,000 on that total score there. Rain produced 345 units, killing 649. And kirchlindach, man, lost 696 units. That's so many dead Zerglings and Hydralisks and Lurkers and drones, resources, even as you're ever going to get. 64,500 for Rain, 64,700 for kirchlindach. But this is the story here, is the number of units killed versus the number of units lost. And you can get this ratio and have the same income as the Zerg, you're going to win. That is your mathematical formula. Okay, great. Well, that's going to be it from me for your Brood War Saturday, or possibly Sunday, depending on where you are. But yeah, this has been Falcon Paladin with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, where I am playing Baldur's Gate, the enhanced version, on the weekends at twitch.tv/FalconPaladin. And until next time, as always, thanks for hanging out, and you take care of yourself.